Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of the Mesillas Yesharim. And the Ramchal writes again in his first opening line of the first chapter. A few more diukim, a few more nuances in the words, and he writes that the foundation and the roots of our avodah temima, of the beautiful avodas Hashem that a person is going to do, is that they have to clarify for themselves ma chayvasai be'olamai. What is literally translated or simply translated is what is their obligation in the world. However, once you look at the words in grammar, you understand it says ma chayvasai, what is his obligation be'olamai, in his world, which means the following. Now, Michal is pointing out a very important aspect of our avodas Hashem if we want to be successful in becoming the greatest Jew that we could become, and that is that there's a general there's a general obligation that everybody has. Everybody has to keep Torah and mitzvahs, and they have to work on themselves, and they have to grow, and they have to try to keep a level of purity and of holiness and sanctity in their lives, and we have to be happy, and we have to be upbeat, and we have to be enthusiastic, and we have to love what we're doing. All of that is the general obligations that each and every one of us has in this world. However, there's something else. There's Eilamai, there's his world, which means a person's personalized world with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu designed everybody differently. He created us each one on our own. He gave everybody their own talents, their own potential, their own skills, their own koiches hanefesh, which means their own intrinsic strengths that they have that nobody else has. They have certain netios, they have certain inclinations towards things that other people don't have. We have faults that other people don't have, deficiencies that other people don't have, strengths, milas, talents, a skill, all things that other people don't have. It might look like on the surface that we are all similar. And there are, of course, similarities. We're mankind, with the Jewish people. There's many, many blaring similarities between us and other people. But at the end of the day, says the Ramchal, everybody has their olam, their own personal world, together with Hashem. And that takes recognition. Takes understanding who you are deep down. It takes understanding what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from you and not from somebody else. It takes a sensitivity of recognition of the koiches, of the potential that you have inside of yourself that doesn't belong to anybody else, just to you. And then, says the Ramchal, when a person will do that, then they will be able to satisfy their olam, their great world that they have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But if a person spends their life always looking at others and thinking about what other people have and other people's strengths and other people's talents and other people's skills and other people's genius and brains and so on and so forth, then they will never truly be able to satisfy and fulfill the tremendous obligation that we have in our personal world to become the greatest we, or the greatest me, that I could become in the eyes of Hashem. And this is reminiscent of the famous story that took place between Rabbi Yisroel Salanter, who was the father of the Mussar movement. He was one of the greatest giants of the time. He had 5 main disciples. Amongst them was Rav Naftali Amsterdam. And Rav Naftali was, if you ever see a picture of him, there's maybe 1 or 2 pictures, you could see the Yiras Shamayim, the fear of Hashem, etched in his forehead, etched in his face. He was a very big tzaddik, a God-fearing man who lived his life for the sake of avodas Hashem. But he once came to his Rebbe, Rabbi Yisroel Salanter, and he was a little bit down. And Rabbi Yisroel Salanter said, "What's the matter, Rebbe Naftali?" And he told him, "Rebbe, if I only had the brains, if I only had the brains of the Or Sameach, who at that time was one of the greatest geniuses of the generation, and if I only had the heart for my davening, like the Yesod V'Shorosh HaAvodah, who was also one of the biggest in the world of avodas Hashem and davening and ruchnius during that generation. And if only I had the midos of you, Rebbe, if only I had your midos, your character traits, then I would be able to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu properly." So Rav Yisroel Salanter looked at him and he said, Reb Naftali, with your brains and with your heart and with your midos, that's how you're going to serve Hashem." And that's what the Ramchal is saying over here. A person has to know, what is my obligation in my world with the Ribbono Shel Olam. And that's how a person is going to succeed. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful Shabbos, and we shall continue Be'ez Hashem next week. All the best.